On the phone with me right now, I have NBA agent and founder of Onelegacysports, Mike George. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, man.
Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure.
It's crazy, man, because as I was calling you, I was thinking about this last night. And if my math is correct, it's been about 19 years ago was the first time I met you at IEC camp. And you were teaching a bunch of us. And even aside from basketball, you were actually teaching us downstairs in the church how to be good young men and how to be good leaders. And it's so crazy to see how far you've come from then. I mean, you deserve some big props.
No, thank you, and thanks for aging me as well. I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been that long, man. So first of all, congratulations with signing that deal. One of your clients, Jamal Murray, biggest deal in Canadian history. When he was coming out of school, just quickly before we get on to Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, but was this who you thought he was going to be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at a kid and you say, this guy's got a lot of talent and potential, but obviously, once you get into, whether it's college and the NBA, there's different things you run into, roadblocks. But one thing I noticed with him, and obviously with the great training, obviously his father has done with him, it's just mentally, he's just tough. No matter what the situation, circumstance, he's always able to perform on a high level and stuff. The bigger the life, the bigger he played. And I thought a lot of that just, with his dad being around and the mental toughness and a lot of that karate training, which I'm sure everyone saw, those different things. You can almost see him making it far and being where he's at. He's not even close to where he's going to be at, the end of all this stuff, because he can be he's an NBA All-Star one day, and I look forward to having a big season next year.
All right, so for all the people that are going to be listening to this shortly, walk me through a signing. Like, what are the steps? Who reaches out to who? Who initiates what? How does it work?
That's such a gray area. I'm not saying I did this, but there's teams that will reach out to guys a little earlier because they're not really supposed to. Because of the period regards to, but again, you saw a lot of deals done on the first day, so that means there must have been some conversations taking place earlier. But again, teams are allowed to start speaking to guys, as in, they'll call you, the agent, first on June 30th. One thing was like 6 p.m. was a new time they added. So once they start calling you, you can start talking about, obviously thinking of their interest in the player and so forth. Or in a case like with Jamal, where we're dealing with his extension, we're just talking about, what's a fair number, locking him in for a different amount of time and years, so forth. So, and then from there, I think, once you make your deal, it becomes official on July 6th, and the guys are actually able to sign and so forth like that. Okay, so now one of your guys, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, he signs a short-term deal with the Raptors. It's all confirmed. Is it a 1 or 2 year deal? All the details. It's a 1 year deal.
It's a 1 year deal. Okay, how do you?
1 year deal. Yeah.
We've seen over these last couple of years the development and what they've done with some of the young talent that they've have on their team. I'm sure you're happy about that. But how do you envision him and his fit with this team for this year?
I think it's a great fit. I think when you look at free agency, especially this year, the market was a little bit down. And, it just comes down to where it's not always about the money, but it's about the place you go and a team that, when you look at regards to development, like you just hit on. Like, I'm just actually in the gym right now watching him in Vegas here. And he's working out with Phil Handy. And Phil Handy is one of the best developers, in my opinion, and he doesn't get a lot of credit out there for some of the growth of some of these young guys in the Raptors. But Phil Handy's out here working with him right now. So I think the development part of the Raptors has done an amazing job. And then also feel for opportunity-wise, Rondae is very similar to Pascal in regards to just, way Coach Nurse allows Pascal to kind of bring the ball up at times. And, he's kind of a unicorn. There's no real position for him. And I believe with Rondae, being able to back up a guy like Pascal and play that same role of that unicorn and creating for guys off the dribble, posting up. Just you can play him in different ways, and he can cover positions 1 to 5. So I think it's just a great opportunity for him.
All right, so last question here now. Now, Mike, like I said, it's probably been about 19 years since I've known you. I mean, I was just a little young buck running around with you in camps. My brother played for you. I played for you a little bit. I played on opposing teams. You've played collegiate ball. So I know firsthand you are just a straight up gym rat, and you've been around basketball your entire life. Now, what would your advice be to a youngster who's out there, who's looking to play in college, looking to go pro? What should his approach to the game be?
I always feel like this, and especially being on all sides, from teaching at one point to AAU and OBA to dealing with this college side of things, and now on the pro level. I think the biggest thing is one, being realistic. You know what I mean, and having people around you that are going to tell you the truth, and you're willing to hold yourself accountable when you're playing. So you got to put in the hours, you got to put in the energy of your game. So don't assume you're going to be great just by showing up. The other thing is, always be coachable. Listen to the different guys, and don't think you know it all. And three, like I said, going back to the first part I talked about, just those people around you that are these yes people or the people that make excuses. Those are the guys that don't succeed on this level. If you're going to succeed on this level, you got to be a person that understands taking on a challenge, overcoming that, and understand you're going to go through different obstacles and everything, but you got to be able to fight your way through them. So I'd say that's my advice to younger guys is, obviously take care of your schoolwork and so forth. When it comes to basketball, just know there's going to be obstacles and things that come about, but you can't be the guy that quits and gives in. You got to be the guy that's going to even work harder.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me on this show, and I hope to speak to you again soon, brother.
No worries, man. You got it, man. Take care of yourself. Tell Jay I said hello.
No problem, man. Thank you, bro.